Real Madrid shocked the world by spending 45 million euros on Franco Mastantuono, a 17-year-old wonderkid from River Plate. This wasn't a gamble. This was more than a transfer. It was a statement, a signal that a historic cycle is beginning anew. He hasn't even made his debut in the famous white shirt. He hasn't stepped foot on the Santiago Bernabeu pitch. And yet, Mastantuono already carries the hopes of becoming the next great symbol of the legendary bond between Real Madrid and Argentine football, a connection that stretches from Alfredo Dphano to Gonzalo Higuaín, from La Máquina to La Saeta Rubia. Real Madrid and River Plate don't just share players, they share legacy. Mastantuono will become the 34th Argentine to wear the Real Madrid badge, the latest name on a list that spans more than a century. In recent years, Argentinians have become a rare sight at the Bernabeu. But with this transfer, that might be about to change. It could mark the start of a new wave, a white and sky blue resurgence. And this story began with a phone call from Xabi Alonso. For generations, Real Madrid was a sacred land for Argentine talent, a place where stars from the land of tango etched their names into the rich history of European football. And to understand where it all began, you always come back to Alfredo Di Stéfano. He didn't just play for Madrid, he transformed them. He laid the foundation for what Real would become, a club of greatness, of dominance, of global legend. Before Di Stéfano arrived, the relationship between Real Madrid and Argentina was barely existent. The Aranguren brothers were the first Argentinians to wear the white shirt way back in 1911, but left little mark. That all changed in the 1950s when Santiago Bernabeu, driven by ambition and influence, pulled off one of the most important transfers in football history, signing the blonde-haired genius from Millonarios. With Di Stéfano, Real Madrid entered an era of complete European domination. 308 goals, 8 La Liga titles, 5 European Cups, 2 Ballon d'Or awards. No one, before or since, has shaped the identity of Los Blancos quite like him. And yes, he came from River Plate. When Real Madrid signed Di Stéfano, they didn't just buy a superstar, they inherited a legacy. A piece of La Banda Roja flowed into the bloodstream of Los Merengues. His success opened the doors for a wave of Argentinians to follow. Eduardo Anzarda came next, then Oscar Ruggeri, Santiago Solari, Esteban Cambiaso, Gabriel Heinze, and of course Gonzalo Higuaín. Higuaín, who also came from River, scored 121 goals in white, becoming one of the most efficient strikers in the club's post-Galactico era. But this wasn't just about talent, it was about trust, a deep-rooted confidence between two academies, two footballing philosophies. River Plate produced players who matured early, with a European mindset from the start. For a long time, Argentina was Real Madrid's strategic link to South America, a philosophy that stood in contrast to today's Brazil-centric scouting approach. But then, something changed. When Angel Di Maria left in 2014, the connection seemed to fade. Argentine players became a rarity at the Bernabeu. Only Nico Paz, a youth academy product, briefly broke through in 2023, but even he struggled to earn regular minutes. Spain still saw Argentine brilliance. Messi in Barcelona, Banega in Sevilla, Lo Celso in Villarreal. But Real Madrid, for nearly a decade, turned away from the blue and white. And that's what makes the Mastantuono deal so powerful. It's not just a transfer, it's a restoration. By returning to River Plate to sign a teenager who hasn't even turned 18, Real Madrid is doing more than investing in the future. They're reconnecting with the past. They're tapping into a golden memory, one that began with Di Stéfano, and awakening a legacy that's been asleep for far too long. Franco Mastantuono was born in 2007, raised in the legendary academy of River Plate, and hailed from a young age as a talent destined to explode onto the world stage. At just 16 years old, he shook the entire nation with a stunning free kick in the Super Clásico against Boca Juniors, a goal witnessed by over 85,000 fans, a moment that shifted the trajectory of his career and etched his name into the notebooks of top European scouts, especially those watching closely from Valdebebas. In less than a year, he'd already made history, becoming the youngest player ever to step onto the field for Argentina's senior national team. That was in June 2025 against Chile, even before he turned 18. His numbers at River were remarkable: 7 goals, 4 assists, the highest goal involvement of any Argentine U23 in the calendar year. In a country known for producing attacking gems, the fact that a 16-year-old dominated national headlines speaks volumes about Mastantuono's influence. Now, Real Madrid is a club known for caution when it comes to signing underage players. But Mastantuono is the exception, and the reason is a man named Xabi Alonso. The new head coach of Los Blancos personally stepped in to convince the young Argentine to join Madrid's next great project. Mastantuono himself confirmed it in an interview with Argentine media. "I spoke with Xabi. He treated me with a level of honesty I hadn't experienced before. The way he spoke about my role in the team, how the club sees my future. It changed everything. I thought I'd be staying at River, but after that call I knew this was the step I had to take." He signed a 6-year deal with Real Madrid and will officially join the squad after his 18th birthday on August 14th. Due to Spanish laws preventing non-European minors from joining the first team, he'll train separately for the first 2 weeks. But the club has already mapped out a clear plan: monitor his fitness daily, gradually integrate him into first-team intensity, and register him to play as soon as he meets the required conditions. This transfer isn't about money, it's about strategy. Madrid didn't sign Mastantuono to chase the latest raw gem trend. They did it because he fits what Xabi Alonso envisions for the future of his midfield and attack. He's tactically versatile, capable of playing as a number 10 or drifting wide to the right. He makes quick, decisive decisions. His elegance on the ball suits the high-pressing, possession-dominant style Alonso wants to build. He's not just a prospect, he's a piece of the puzzle. Franco Mastantuono arrives at Real Madrid at a time when football is shifting. With the 2026 World Cup on the horizon, Argentina is slowly preparing for life after Messi, Di Maria, and Otamendi. At 17, Mastantuono is far from the only hope, but he represents this new wave more clearly than anyone else. His rise is part of a broader, quieter movement, a migration of elite South American talent toward Europe's top leagues. According to CE's Football Observatory, since 2005, River Plate has exported more players to Europe's top 5 leagues than any non-European club, 51 in total. It's a testament to River's blend of tradition and modernity. Their system produces players ready for the mental and physical demands of elite football. Mastantuono is the perfect example. He has a rock-solid technical base. He's comfortable in tight spaces. He reads the game like a veteran. And despite his age, he plays with calm, clarity, and confidence. That's why he's avoided the trap so many South American prodigies fall into, being overhyped too early, too raw when arriving in Europe, and ultimately fading. Real Madrid, it seems, has learned from that history. With Vinicius, Rodrigo, and most recently Endrick, they've realized talent alone isn't enough. The right environment is everything, and with Mastantuono, they're offering a more complete preparation than ever before. In a market largely dominated by Brazilian and Spanish talents, Mastantuono's rise feels like a shift in the wind. Even Chelsea's Willian Stéfano once said he, Mastantuono, and Lamine Yamal might be future Ballon d'Or rivals. But the Argentine's response was refreshingly grounded. He's a fantastic player, no doubt, but honestly, I don't think about the Ballon d'Or. My dream is to play for Real Madrid, to step on the pitch and win trophies. I want to win La Liga. I want to win the Champions League. That's what I've always dreamed of. That's not media training. That's a clear-eyed, focused mindset. He understands that wearing the white shirt isn't about fame. It's about chasing the game's greatest honors. He even admitted that had he stayed at River, he would have fought to make the World Cup 2026 squad. But once Real Madrid called, the path became clearer. Playing in Europe, especially in white, gives any Argentine a serious edge in the fight for national team spots. From a strategic perspective, Real Madrid is quietly rebalancing its youth structure. The arrivals of Endrick, Arda Güler, Alex Jimenez, And now Mastantuono show they're not just focused on the now, they're planting seeds for the future. If Mastantuono can make an impact in his very first season, this could be the spark that reignites Madrid's relationship with Argentine talent. A successful Mastantuono could become a blueprint, a symbol that shows young stars from Rosario, Cordoba, or Santa Fe that Madrid is once again a place to dream big.